How was the samurai costume worn? The samurai were feudal Japan's warrior elite similar to knights of medieval Europe. For about 700 years, from the 12th to the late 19th centuries, they dominated Japanese society as aristocrats, intellectuals and, of course, soldiers. Although they famously didn't fear death, they still protected their bodies with distinctive armor. Let's see each of the pieces of the historical costumes of the samurais. Head protection. A samurai protected his head with a bowl-shaped helmet called a kabuto. It featured a flexible neck guard called a shakoro, and was held in place with cords. It was often decorated with horns or antlers, and accessorized with a war mask called a hote. The mask could cover all or part of the face. It helped secure the helmet, protected the face and throat, and gave the samurai a more fearsome appearance. When he wasn't wearing a mask, a samurai protected his throat with a metal ring called a nadawa, or standing metal collar called an arawa. Torso protection. A samurai protected his torso with a do. Samurai armor was generally made from small steel plates laced together with leather straps or silk cords, rather than large steel plates like European armor. This made it more flexible than its European equivalent, but sacrificed some protection. Samurai, like European knights, were highly individualistic, and wore armor that reflected personal tastes. Getting noticed on the battlefield was an important step in getting promoted. Armor was decorated with lacquer, heraldic emblems, fancy rivets and unusual patterns. Hip protection. A samurai protected his hips and upper thighs with skirt-like kusazuri that hung from the do. Armorers created the kusazuri from metal plates laced together. According to historian Anthony J. Bryant, although the kusazuri typically matched the do perfectly, they were sometimes made in different colors, with different styles of plates, metal scales instead of plates, or a different style of lacing. Some armor featured removable kusazuri, which were easier to pack for travel. They could also be removed whenever the army forded a river or stream, though many samurai simply tied them up with a cord. We continue with a description of the pieces of the samurai wardrobe. Leg protection. A samurai protected his thighs with hate made from overlapping metal plates or chainmail. They were typically held to the thigh with buttoning leather straps. Cords tied to a waist strap kept them from sliding off. Some samurai held them in place with cord that passed around the neck like suspenders. Many samurai found them uncomfortable and didn't wear them, preferring freedom of movement. A samurai protected his shins with shin guards called suneite, made of vertical metal plates linked together with hinges, or chainmail and held in place with cords. Arm and shoulder protection. A samurai protected his shoulders and upper arms with sewed. Armorers created sewed from uniform metal plates laced together. Bryant believes they were part of matched set with the kusazuri. In the late 16th century, sewed were generally eliminated in favor of wing-like shoulder guards. A samurai protected his lower arms with armored sleeves called coat, which consisted of metal plates and chainmail stitched to several layers of cloth. The sewed featured metal gloves similar to a knight's gauntlets, and protected the back of the hand and the thumb. Japan has managed to preserve its cultural identity in many details. One of the most colorful is, without a doubt, that of the samurai costumes that can be seen in many historical reenactments throughout the country.